Welcome back to It's Flying Higurashi, Watanagashi. That was fast, actually. It's like it loaded up like the second it started recording. I think last time it was the complete opposite. There was something I was going to say. What was it? Yeah. Wait, where the hell is it? Where? God damn it, I have to freaking move the freaking lead. I did not think this through very well. This freaking... It's like, if the charger was on the other side of the laptop, it'd be much more convenient. So, what'll be the word of the day, actually? I want to check something. I should have done this before recording, because I've, like, been to the college the other day, and, yeah, it was yesterday, actually, as I'm recording. And it's been a while since we've actually, done anything, with that, because, like, clusterfuck of a schedule, really. More in that, it's just like the well was crap last week, or something, I can't remember, no, it was closed last week, so yeah, it's feel like it's been forever. So, it's like, that was alright and all, but there was one thing I, like, randomly thought of. Where is it? Brain fart. I want to confirm this. This isn't actually sort of like from the college that I figured out. It's something I randomly stumbled upon. Where is it? Yeah, nani. That means what? It's kind of a very obvious one, but the kanji character for it is what's caught my interest. Because, like, it's one of the very few kanji characters I can recognize and kind of somewhat decipher. But it's like, it's used in other contexts as well. It's like, nanimu, or nanimo, I think that is actually, yeah, nanimo, means nothing. Nanibun means anyway. And what else also use that character? Nanika, interrogative something anything. And then you go like nan, which is like, could also be seen as what, but it can also be used in different ways in that, without adding ni, just nan with the n instead. Could be like nanji, which is like a way of asking time. It's like time involved questioning. And nande means why. It's just kind of interesting seeing the pattern. Like, it's a character that can be used for different contexts that are similar, but it's like worded differently. But despite going over those, let's pick a different word for the day. Chori. Cooking. I probably didn't pronounce that correctly, but who cares? Let's get on with it. I was expecting to get straight to the point this time, to be honest. But nope, 4 minutes of rambling. The bare minimum. Kind of on-topic rambling is, I recall in the previous recording, like the previous part to be exact. And it was either when the scene was playing, when I was actually, recording it, or when I was editing, that I'd remembered, like, the rest of the plot for this, and I was like, ooh, I see where that, yeah. And I'm not even gonna say what the hell I'm even talking about there, because it'd be a spoiler. Watanagashi, if you paid attention to the previous parts. Wata can mean cotton, but it can also mean entrails. How nice! How morbid is that, man? That gives you an example of kanji characters that have the same syllables, but like have to have two different kanji characters to separate them. Like, look at these right here. That right there. That's a kanji character I recognize. That has a variety of different uses. That's like referring to people, essentially. It's like a person, but it has like all kinds of ways you could use it. Like, it could be like he, she, I don't know. Actually, no. Male and female also have characters as well. I also recognize this kanji character. I think this kanji character is in the kanji for Hinamizawa, so maybe this is actually legitimately written about the village. Any other characters I can recognize there? Not really. It's all blurry anyway, whatever. The rite of Watanagashi is performed during a village festival every June, even now, but reading back to its origins turns up a seriously sanguine ceremony, and your pronunciation is terrible. Originally Watanagashi would happen at fixed intervals and often receiving a short ostrich before the sacrifice. Then the entire village would kidnap, demon away the person, and ceremony dissect and devour them in a feast. How lovely! The rules that determine the intervals are shrouded in mystery. That reminds me. Have you ever, like, for example, that right there? It's just like information like that. You like reading a story or pretty much anything really, and you see something like that, and you instinctively kind of shudder and kind of back away, and you're just like, ugh. Not like because it's scary, like in that kind of, oh, that made me jump kind of way. It's more in that kind of, oh, that's unnerving as fuck. But if you do ever do this where you're just like, blah, 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 you just like shake your head and you're just like, lips are just like, blah, blah, blah. Ever do that when you read something like that? You're just like, blah, 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 blah. Just like makes you shudder so much that even your mouth does. It's like, blah, blah, blah. This is because the ceremonies occurred extremely irregularly. There's a theory that it was determined based on astrological fortune-telling, but it isn't too convincing. The residents of ancient Ooishi village firmly believed that they were half man, half demon transcendents, and that they were more valuable than humans were, and they forced people to live in and were allowed to accept that. I doubt it's in here, but I'm curious now. Now, at some point, I should have a thorough look through this dictionary and see if, like, what words I can find, you know? What am I looking for again? Nope. No transcendence in here. Here's a trap, though. Wana. Let's see it. Yeah, it is in context, actually. To set a trap for someone, Darekani Wana o Shikakeru. So it actually is in that sentence. Sometimes it kind of confuses me. They'll give examples just like, this is the context you use in. They'll give you the word, and then the word doesn't even appear in the sentence. It's just like, so it's worded differently? So bloody confusing. What I kind of like about this is, since like learning Japanese, I actually can just look at these hiragana characters and katakana to an extent, and just be able to actually not translate them, but actually know what they mean, as in, like, you know, how they're pronounced and all that. Because, you know, before learning, obviously I wouldn't have had a clue. Now it all just makes sense. Perhaps the act of kidnapping and eating people was done to prove that they were higher up on the food chain. This is just a hypothesis, but maybe the rite of Watanagashi was a political event for the purpose of being an outlet for, or outright diverting the attention of, the villagers of the isolated Ooishi village, in case any of their complaints or dissatisfactions grew serious. Just like, hey there, demon citizens of this here village. We have a bit of a problem with you going down to other villages, kidnapping people and eating them. What's up with that? Just like, oh, no complaints. If that was the main reason these ceremonies were held, then it's easy to explain how erratic they were. Still just looks like a newspaper rather than a scrapbook, though. I mean, look at that. It's like, you saw that, right? It's written, you know, like, is it horizontally? Yeah. Well, it's written, like, vertically here, isn't it? It's weird how Japanese is like that, because they can write it either way, really, can they? What I wonder, though, is, like, actually, I think it's like, yeah, it's right to left, isn't it? Like, this would be the starting point, and the end point over here, I think. Well, it's over there, really. But I think that's how it works. You read it down, then you go to the next one, down, 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 down. I think. Because it's not like in English where it'd be like, if we were for some reason to write out English this way, which would look confusing, you'd be like, this way, wouldn't it? But now it's the opposite direction. The alleged importance of the implements, at least I think it is anyway, and it's the same bloody page. I can't find anything that gives a concrete description on what the ritual implements were like. I wonder what this part's thumbnail will be, because it's been 11 minutes and the longer into a part without any sighting of the characters means that we're probably just going to have a part with a thumbnail that's just this damn paper here. Anyways, the ritual implements, well, I'd say were, however, real, and there definitely exist a multitude of different kinds. One source states that the implements used in the Watanagashi rite are loom number 200. The obvious question then is why they required such a myriad of them. The rite of Watanagashi was to kidnap people, brew the demon away, dissect them, and eat them. I believe the tools were for dissection and restraining, but 200 of them is far too many. Generally, tools evolve in such a way as to reach a solution for a certain problem. Once you reach the ultimate goal, that is, attain a certain level of efficiency, the tool's evolution number stops there. Regardless, why would they have created so many different kinds? One of the cultural elements responsible for education over time is that of entertainment. Tools used for entertainment would evolve over time and branch out. Unlike normal tools, reaching the ultimate goal would be more of a dead end, and in searching for the next goal, they would split into many different subtypes. You know, they're essentially tools for torture, right, that's going over, right? And it's made me think, it's like, what about, you know, like, things that are actually weapons? Just like, now we've got freaking nukes and shit in the world. It's just like, why did we make that? For entertainment? No, obviously not. Seriously, man, it's just like, think of it, like, we must have started off with just using sticks and shit like that, and now we've got freaking all kinds of crazy shit in the world. Just like, guys, remember when we used to use these things for hunting? Yeah, whatever happened to that? I don't think, like, you could use a nuke for hunting. I mean, even if you're dead, sure, you'd have a lot of deaths in that, I guess, but what use would it be? It's got this image in my mind now, just like someone fishing using a freaking nuke. Just like, yeah, I got the whole lake. Yeah, you've also fucking contaminated it. If you go anywhere near there, you're fucked. So then, perhaps it's not a stretch to suggest that these 200 plus implements had some entertainment value. This is just a hypothesis, of course, but maybe the human dissection process was viewed as a type of entertainment. Well, morbidly, if you think about it, like the Middle Ages, for example, like executions and all that, seems like, what you read about it, it's like, oh, family entertainment, bring the whole family along and view this splendid execution. He will be hanged, drawn, and quartered for your entertainment purposes. Just like, that's fucked up. The 3 families available would develop one new implement dissection tool after another, and each was very noble and attracted spectators to keep them from growing bored. It's not unimaginable. Now it got me thinking, maybe that's why they developed so many variety of fucked up ways of execution in the past. It's like, no man, we're losing crowds. We gotta make it more exciting, more morbid, and more destructive. All of them have to be enshrined within that storehouse. There is much longer until the night of the Watanagashi. Though its original intent has been lost, I will reveal the secrets of the traditional ceremonial night within the ritual storehouse. I can't restrain my excitement. The Watanagashi cannot come soon enough. And what happened after the festival? Late that night, tensions in the police station were strained. In the silence, many of the staff members' eyes shifted back and forth between the clock and the telephone, counting the seconds in that cycle. Kuma guy out and burst in with a young guy trailing behind him. Where's the sign? I've got the autopsy results. The court physician just got here. I'm ready to go, sir. I'll head straight for Gifu. Kuma-chan, things have gotten a bit complicated. They appear to be having a very difficult time determining who the victim is. Could they have been dismembered? No. Got a nice light brown. What? He spoke in sportive terms, but the meaning behind his words was heavy. The staff gave a collected sigh. All the way, head to toe. Completely blackened, it seems. Probably smells terrible, too. What a shame it is to be, evil-side. Cooked with no possessions, then discarded outside the prefecture. At worst, it would have taken a week for the body to be identified. The fact that they sniffed it out tonight was huge. Kuwayama-kun and a few others are performing a thorough night raid on the dentist in Okinawa. All we can do is hope matches some medical reports. Sorry. Could someone go buy me 2 boxes of multivitamins? The young guy answered in affirmation and darted out into the hallway. You did an excellent job finding it this year. It could be that the people who disappeared in past years are scattered outside of prefecture like this too. Then why not bury them? Or sink them into the Sea of Japan or Lake Biwa, or somewhere like that? Why though? Hasn't the pattern so far been one person dies and another disappears? Kuma-chan, the corpse was inside an oil drum, unrestrained and cooked. Oh yeah, I remember this. They probably burned them after strangling them. They knew it would be found. So what you mean is, from the beginning they didn't want a person to disappear this year. Not so much that as they just aren't related. The person didn't disappear. In fact, whoever did it seems to have wanted to make a show of it. You mean, it could be a warning? He folded his arms and then heaved a long, heavy sigh. That might have been the case had it happened in town. If they'd messed up, take the victim far away and burn them alive, it wouldn't have been noticed. If they meant it as a warning, they should have done it close to Hinamizawa. They wanted to emphasize the fact that they killed the victim, but instead of doing it somewhere for dramatic effect, they did it outside the prefecture. Then they want to emphasize it or hide it. Boy, I do wonder what Oyashiro-sama is up to this year. You know, it must be like, if you work, like, with the police for a number of years, shit like is probably just, like, you probably become numb to it. To an extent, though, I imagine, like, you always, like, hear, like, if, like, something just, like, a terrible murder case happens, and you'll always get, like, some officers that'll be like, I've never seen anything this horrific in my 10 years on the force. But, you know, the longer they're on the force, the more, like, I suppose the more messed up ones become even more messed up, because the people who've seen a lot of crazy shit think that shit's crazier than the crazy shit they've seen. A telephone rang cut through the heavy silence. A staff member nearby had snatched up the receiver. Wait a second, it's Komiyama. They have it. The dental clinic in, yeah, it's the wisdom tooth 3 years ago. What about the records? Complete with x-rays. Well, I feel bad for waking up the dentist before dawn. Kuma-chan, get out there as soon as you get the records from Komayamaku. Will do. Oh, it's the chief. Thank you for coming at this hour. Ooishi-san, my apologies for my lateness. What's the situation? Well, it's just getting good, you see. We're all getting fired up. Whoa! Yeah. Sure, the victim was fired up. Haha. morbid humor, lads. Continue. I let out a great big yawn. It was like morning had arrived just as I got to sleep. Wow. Just freaking, like sometimes I pretty much go to sleep in the morning, so it makes no difference to me. As Mum set up breakfast, she gave me a pained smile. What's the matter, Keiichi? What time did you go to sleep last night? Well, I wanted to go to sleep at midnight, but I had some trouble with that. You were probably all worked up from the festival. No, that's not it. I crunched down hard on a pickled radish to hide my embarrassment. Then he realized that it wasn't that. It was actually a chili pepper, and he regretted it instantly. After all that happened yesterday and our discussion about the sound Shion heard, that banging noise like a child far away jumping up and down on a wooden floor. Story wouldn't get out of my head, so I had trouble sleeping. It was a long night, and I kept jumping at the slight sounds of faraway tree branches. It should have been either unhearable or too insignificant to notice. When I woke up to the morning sunlight and birds chirping, it made me feel pretty ashamed about it, but I felt far from refreshed this morning.
Keiichi-kun, good morning. Huh? Keiichi-kun, your eyes are all red. Why is that? Why?
Oh, hey, good morning. Didn't get much sleep last night. Oh, I'm sleep deprived today.
The festival yesterday was a lot of fun. Rena's excitement took a long time to go to sleep, so... I took a long time to get to sleep too, to sleep.
In Rena's case, her excitement seemed to still be wide awake. They should have this kind of festival more often. Oh wait,
they should have this kind of festival more often, so we can have fun, lots of fun together again.
Yeah. We talked about the festival yesterday, made me remember everything I'd nearly forgotten from last night. And that was... the inside of the ritual storehouse had been so utterly different from the relaxed, bright, everyday life of Hinamizawa. All those stories that Takano-san told me too, the mysterious incidents that occurred on the day of the Watanagashi festival every year, strange incidents where one person would die and one would disappear. The old stories of Hinamizawa flickering like a candle behind them. You know, as I'm recording this today, I'll be uploading the previous part, and man, that was a long recording. And I was like, I can't be splitting this freaking cool scenario with the inside of the shed or wherever, like for 3 parts, you know, because that just like, it was like, fuck it. It's an hour long or something like that, just leave it as it is. Just 2 parts for that. Because that scene dragged on, especially with my rambling, but it was a long scene regardless. The old stories of Hinamizawa flickering like a candle behind them, the numerous and horrifying traditions of Watanagashi village, the villages with demon blood in them, the terrible cannibalistic feasts, the poor sacrifices kidnapped from human villages, victims of the Onikakushi. To quell the rage of Ooishi-sama, the ritual involving living sacrifices. There were also many, many others. There were so many stories that just remembering them put me in a foul mood. Most of them weren't fiction either, they were true. We didn't need to fear them just because they were real now, since it all happened so long ago. Such a very long time ago. Wow. Takano did mention, didn't she? It was like, oh yeah, there were even some reported cases in, like, I don't know what area it was called, but it was definitely like the one before the current one, or the one before the previous one. I don't know.
Where's Mii-chan? She's late.
Ah. Before I realized that we had arrived at the place where we usually meet the Mion. Probably because I was so lost in thought. We agreed that if she isn't here by now, we can just go on ahead, right? Should we? Mion being late wasn't too rare on occurrence, but today she was unusually late. A few of the ominous tales from the night before came back to life in my mind again. Who would die this year and who would disappear? It couldn't have been Mion.
What should we do, Keiichi-kun? If we don't get going, we'll be late.
She'll be here. She didn't call to tell us she'd be staying home today, right? She was probably, well, that was the actual previous line, wasn't she? Let's just wait 5 more minutes, okay? Rena looked at her watch and seemed a little worried, but then she nodded with a satisfied smile. We have to wait 5 minutes. We'd have to run as fast as we could to school, or we'd be late. As soon as I thought that, we spotted Mion running towards us out of breath.
Mii-chan, you're late!
You waited? You should have just gone on ahead. Mion was breathing heavily and her face was all red. Her house was right down this road, wasn't it? It wasn't far enough away for her to end it like this, was it?
Mii-chan, are you not feeling well?
Now that she mentioned it. Rena pushed Mion's bangs away and put her hand to her forehead. Rena, your hand is pretty cold.
Mii-chan, you're a little bit warm.
It's no big deal. Just give it a half a day and I'll be as fit as a fiddle. Are you really okay? You don't have to push yourself, you know. What's this? Keiichi-chan, are you worried about me? That's nice of you. That answer wasn't like Mion at all. She must have had it pretty bad.
I just think you shouldn't push yourself so hard. You can tell the teacher you have to take the day off.
I'm fine. I took some medicine. I think it's already working. Mion forced an energetic expression onto her face and flexed her biceps at us. Okay then, let's go. Okay, that's probably Keiichi. Okay, then let's go. Don't overdo it, but of course there's Takano.
What? We need to run or we won't make it in time, kid.
This morning sure is thrilling. Maybe it's just what I need to shake off this slowness. Let's run. Hey, wait, you're sick. Don't go overboard. Mion began to run vigorously anyway.
Mii-chan is old and that's right. She knows her own body better than anyone.
I don't think it really matters really all that much. I don't know what the age difference is between the characters. I can't remember. I think like Keiichi is like 15 or something. Maybe he's 14, I don't know. But he definitely seemed like he'd be 15, honestly. And I think Mion would probably be like 16 or 17, I don't know. But you know, it doesn't matter with like, it's like even people who are freaking, you know, really, really old don't necessarily know their bodies all that well, you know. This, well, I suppose, I don't know. I'm just assuming this, you know, like, knowing your own limits. Some people just don't really ever learn it. Great, then we should get going too. They began to run after Mion. And the Higurashi followed. The school looked the same as always. The hours passed, flashly on my neck, turkey tail. If there was a sport where people competed by sleeping, I'd be world champion right now. Why, is he saying he's fallen asleep in class then? The trick to overcoming this sort of dangerous situation was to hold your pencil upside down. you ask? So you don't draw strange patterns all over your notes while absent. If you were holding your pencil upside down, that wouldn't happen, would it? Bum bum bum, something I felt like an eraser hit me in the head. What was that, Foster?
I haven't done a single thing.
Who else would play a prank on me like this? Oh, it's chalk, not an eraser. Eh? Ride me like a female outlaw, might hold razors, hold the teacher's shadow, holding 3 pieces of chalk in his hand. Rumble, 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 rumble. My Barakun, go and watch your face. Right. Gladly. That alone was enough to wake me up when I flew out into the hallway as if shoved out by the pressure executed by the teacher's sheer power. Now I'm thinking like what I was like thinking like earlier on in this part about the previous part. Now I'm like, not sure. It's been freaking quite a few years, you know, since I read the novels. I'm just trying to remember how each scenario plays out. But I can't exactly just like ramble on about them because I'd be spoiling the plot. If I was going to watch my face anyway, then I would rather use the sing-side front rather than the ones in the dark rest room. Thinking that, I left the hallway and went to the entrance. The sunlight was strong, so strong you wouldn't think it was June. I turned the faucet, and with a lifeless bubbling noise, the warm water came pouring out. I think I remember this scene, though. I think. We'll see how it turns out. If I let it run for a few moments, would it get cold? I think there's a symbol. I'm not sure. I just can't remember. I get characters mixed up with like what character was in this scenario or this scenario and how some scenarios play it out. I can only remember like some of the more important parts of the plot. I looked at it absent-mindedly for a little while. I knew you'd choose those things, Kei-chan. Ones out front just feel better, don't they? Mion. Oh, got a glass now. I stuck my hands into the water to find it had gotten so cold that it seemed strange it had ever been warm. I scooped it up and smashed it against my face. Once I was done, I moved out of the way and Mion did the same. Mion, how is your cold doing? You're sleeping because of the medicine, not from lack of sleep, right? Actually, it's a secret, but at the festival yesterday, I got wrapped up in the party my relatives were having. And, well, I had a bit. She made a gesture like she was tilting a cup into her mouth. Which means you didn't have a cold or anything. Are you hungover? How old are you? Give me a break. It's not like ha-ha. Nah. I really don't feel well, you know. I suppose she'd be feeling lousy either way. Still, you treat colds and hangovers in completely different ways. I was worried over nothing. Man, I guess that's just like you, Mion. Mion scratched her head a little embarrassed. She didn't seem to be feeling well, but now that I knew it was a hangover, I didn't need to worry too much. It'd go away with time, after all. Oh, but my head really is pounding, so the teacher told me I should go home early. Ah, you cheater! So are you going home now, Mion? Now that I looked again, Mion had her bag with her. She must have been on her way home. Yep, I feel bad about it, though. I'll get some rest at home like a good girl. Sorry I can't make it to the club. Will you take over as leader for today, Keiichi? I don't know if that'll happen. We have that unspoken rule where we don't do the club unless everyone is there, don't we? We never did it when you had to go to your part-time job, did we? Mion laughed wryly, saying we didn't need to worry about her. No matter how much fun we have, though, I think the feeling guilty about friends who can't share issues is a sign of a really fantastic friendship. In that sense, the club Mion has created is a wonderful thing, with absolutely crazy penalties. I As I thought about it, the moisture on my watch face dried up. I suppose we were talking too much. If I didn't get back to the classroom soon, I could get in trouble. Okay, later, I'm going back. Be careful on your way home. Don't wobble into a sewer or a brook, got it? I left it at that, turned around, and started heading back to the classroom. Oh, one more thing, Kei-chan. Mion stopped me, and I turned my head to listen. Stop. This may sound weird, but don't think too hard about it. Well, that depends on what it is. Last night, near the end of the festival, did you see Tomotaki-san or Takano-san anywhere? I suddenly tensed up. You know Tomotaki-san and Takano-san, right? You remember, Kei-chan, when the four of you were talking during setup the day before? If I could, I was to forget about sneaking into the storehouse that night as soon as possible. So hearing the names of the people I was with at the time really got to me. Besides that, though, why was Mion asking me a question like that? I ended up staring at her, unable to answer immediately. Was she asking to see if I had seen him or not, or was she asking the question knowing that I had? I couldn't tell. Well, maybe. I might have seen him around. I don't know. My vague response was clearly not to Mion's liking. What answer was she expecting from me? There's no way for me to know. I see. Then one more question. That is a serious face right there. On the same night, did you see Shion? My heart leapt into my throat again. The tiny needles buried underneath Mion's words trickled into me. Didn't you ask me that yesterday? I think I told you that I wasn't sure if I had or not. Did you? Oh, shit. I guess I just thought I'd get a different answer if I asked you again. I suddenly noticed something in Mion's eyes. Something indescribable. Tomotaki-san and Takano-san. Shion too. She was asking me about them. There was no doubt about it. Last night the four of us snuck into the ritual storehouse. She knew everything. So what? It's not really a curse anyway. That's right. Even Shion and Takano-san said yesterday during the festival that there was no curse. And that rather than a curse, it was the doing of the villagers. My blood curdles. Mion was, almost without a doubt, aware that we snuck into the storehouse. There was nothing strange. I screwed up bad flipping on the light switch last night. If Mion had been searching for me, it was simple to imagine that she had seen that momentary light and come to find out what was going on. Did you really not see her? Why are you so intent on knowing if I did or not? It's not important. It's just that there are some people who are speaking poorly of Tomotaki-san, Takano-san, Shion, and you, Kei-chan. I didn't really hear what they were saying, though. And pleasant sweat dripped down my arms, and the sound of it hanging from my fingertips was so annoyingly loud. I don't believe that you were doing something bad. I just wanted to ask a bit about it, so I did. Sorry for making you uncomfortable, okay? I found myself unable to reply. My reaction must have made it obvious what the truth was, and yet I couldn't explain myself. Kei-chan, you went with Tomotaki-san, Takano-san, and Shion, right? Yeah. I finally wrung out an answer between ragged breaths, and Mion's expression softened a little. That's good. I'll have to tell her. You weren't involved in anything bad, Kei-chan, so I'll make sure to tell everyone. Yeah, please do. Tell them I wasn't doing anything bad. To everyone, make sure everyone, who is everyone? Okay, later. I'll be better tomorrow. Bye-bye. Wait, Mion! Just like, I'm gonna go on to a brief ramble. It's like, I was just saying bye-bye here. It's all translated in English, but I wouldn't be surprised if she literally just said that, because it's like, in Japanese, you got like sayonara, that's one way of saying goodbye, and there are other ways, like, there's like, was this sumimasen, that's kind of like excuse me, So that could also be seen as a way of saying goodbye, but in a more of kind of abrupt, it's like, I've got to go now. But then you've also got characters like in anime or anything, and just in Japanese in general, because that's kind of where the language is, and all that. But they do use bye-bye, don't they? They say it like that. Only it wouldn't be spelt out like that. It'd be spelt out B-I. And the reason that makes sense is because the I, that's in the Romanji, is pronounced as an E, which is weird. And then you've got an E that is E. It's weird. It's just like if you try to like look at Romanji and like don't know the differences, you try to pronounce it like you would in English. And I've done that before in the past, haven't I? Remember when I first played Go-Go Nippon, for example, when I tried reading some of the stuff in Japanese? I like got some of them so poorly wrong, and I probably still do, but now I kind of know how the pronunciation works. What do you mean by everyone? Just then, a freezing cold hand touched the back of my neck. Hey, you're late, my Barkun. How long did it take you to wash your face? It was the teacher. What was with your voice there? It's like, that was just me deciding. It's like, which character is it? I think it might be the teacher, and it was. I was taking so long she came out to get me. Sorry, I was just speaking to Mion. Just like, she doesn't get a portrait yet, but she will. Eventually, she will get a portrait. I don't know if it'll be in the next question arc, or if it'll be in the answer arc, but she will appear at some point on the screen. I turned around, but Mion had crossed through the courtyard without me realizing it, and was now standing at the gate. Come back to your studies, quickly now. The teacher was being insistent we return to the entrance. I looked back one more time, and Mion was nowhere in sight.